Here's Edexcel's task 2 from their sample assessment materials. We've got an outline of the requirements given to us here, and we've also got a reference to a text file which we can use for some of the things which are going to happen in the program. So the first thing to do is look at all of the requirements there and then try and put those into a flowchart. So if we look at the flowchart, we've got, we're asking the player for their name, we output some instructions, we then ask questions, we check whether the answer is correct. If it is, we update the score. We basically decide how many questions we're going to ask. So in this example I've just used 5 as an example. You can reduce that to 4 or increase it to all of the questions provided in the appendix, and then we've just got some output. So really if we kind of think about the program, the heart of it is this bit here, the bit about asking questions. Now this asking questions aspect, the most important thing about that is how we store the data in the program so that we can basically loop through it. So we have to keep asking a number of questions. So this is just kind of going to keep displaying a question and then its answers, and a question and then its answers. So the main point of this assessment, this task, this problem, is to decide what kind of data structure we're going to use to store the questions and the answers in. So we go away and have a look at Appendix 2, and in Appendix 2 it gives us an example of the questions. So we've got a question followed by a correct answer, followed by 2 incorrect answers. So for each question we have got these bits of data. So here's my next question and we've got these bits of data. So really this is about deciding whether we use a list in Python, whether we use tuple or tuple, however you want to pronounce that, or whether we use a dictionary, or whether we use a list for one aspect of this data and another data structure for the other aspect of it. So that's kind of really the heart of this task, and once you figure out what data structure to use, the rest of the task becomes really very straightforward. And so to help make decisions about the structure of the data, it's useful to kind of go back and forth between what the data is and what you're required to do here. So you're going to be, in fact, don't even worry about the random one to begin with. Just see whether you can output questions and their answers on the screen one after the other. And even this kind of checking the answer being correct is superfluous to begin with. So we're just thinking about how do we store the data provided to us here. How do we store that so that we can cycle through it in a way that will help us answer, or in a way that will help us implement this part of the program.